What's new in CloudBees CI 2.414.1.4? On August 28, 2023, CloudBees CI 2.414.1.4 was released. In this video, we'll be reviewing the changes that happened in that release. Also on August 23, 2023, Jenkins LTS 2.414.1 was released. On August 24th, I did a video with Mark Waite discussing all of the changes that happened in that release. The link to that video is down in the description. If you've never taken a look at the release notes for CloudBees CI, let me show you how to get there. We're going to start at docs.cloudbees.com. Under documentation, we'll go to CloudBees CI. From there, select the documentation dropdown and select release notes. And here you'll be on the home page for the CloudBees CI release notes. Now here at the very top of the page is an important section. If you skip versions when you upgrade, refer to the previous versions of the release notes for any relevant known issues or upgrade notes. Now, what does that mean? The current release is 2.414.1.4. Let's say I was upgrading from the version that is 2.387.3.5. I would need to go through the release notes for every version between the 3.5 and the current version that I'm wanting to install to determine if there are any known issues or if there are any known upgrade paths that I need to follow. As a CloudBees CI client, we recommend following the assisted update process to help make that process easier and simpler. There's a link down in the description of this video about how to get help with an assisted update. For every release, we always have separate release notes for traditional platforms and modern cloud platforms. But for this release, there are some major differences. So we'll first take a look at traditional platforms, and then we'll go take a look at modern cloud platforms. So we look under the full release notes for traditional platforms. We can see that there are no new features for this release. However, there are a number of feature enhancements. If you're using the user activity monitoring plugin, the calculations now factor in uniqueness based on username and email address. Secondly, the Quiet Start plugin can now be used with configuration as code. Up until this point, you always had to go into the UI to make the changes, but now you can use configuration as code to configure Quiet Start. Also included for this release are 5 new changes to the CloudBees Pipeline Explorer. And that's pretty much it for the feature enhancements. Let's go ahead and go down to resolved issues. This first item, reduce the amount of save requests when updating controllers with Cask. So what previously used to happen in this process was there was incremental saves throughout, saving each section of properties. Now there is one global save that will simplify that whole save process. There are a number of other resolved issues for this release, but one more that I want to call out specifically is the configuration for the JDK provided in the CloudBees CI MSI distributable allowed weak TLS algorithms. So if you're running CloudBees CI on Windows and you've been using the MSI installer, this is now changed. So now in this executable, the disabled algorithms have now had new weak TLS algorithms added to it. Also, and this is the key part for this, the version of the JDK that is included in this executable has now been upgraded to 11.0.19. Under known issues, there's actually one new known issue compared to previous releases, and this is error when renaming an existing EC2 cloud. This is a known issue and will be resolved in a future release. And that's pretty much it for the traditional platforms, but let's go take a look at modern cloud platforms. So we'll go back over, click on full release notes for modern cloud platforms. New features are still none. The feature enhancements for modern cloud platform are exactly the same as traditional platform. But if we take a look under resolved issues, there are a few that are specific to modern cloud platform. The first one here is that the HTTP to HTTPS redirect does not work in EKS when using an ALB. Now for the redirection to work, it's now set up using the SSL redirect annotation. If we scroll down a little bit more, there's an issue called CloudBees CI Helm chart values schema is ineffective for some sections. There were some formatting problems within that schema. All of that has been resolved. And then finally, the issue quiet down on a managed controller would hang. So what would happen is the operations center would tell the managed controller, hey, go ahead and quiet down. And there was a lock acquired. But really that lock wasn't necessary. So all of this has been resolved and that lock is no longer required. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us on Twitter at CloudBees. If this video was helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to CloudBees TV yet, why not? Take a moment, click on the subscribe button, and then ring that bell, and you'll be notified anytime there's new content available on CloudBees TV. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.